Finally, on his third attempt, Joe Biden has the keys to the White House, and the 46th President of the United States has already got started on his large in-tray. Within hours of his inauguration, he signed numerous executive orders that dismantle his predecessor's legacy, reversing course on immigration, racial equality, the handling of the coronavirus pandemic and climate change.
And the third one I'm going to sign, and that's what we do while you're all here, is the commitment I made that we're going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord as of today.
From the moment he stood up to take his oath of office, Biden has changed the tone of U.S. politics.
On this January day, my whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. So here's my message to those beyond our borders. America has been tested, and we've come out stronger for it. We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again.
A second star of the ceremony, the first woman and the first Black and Asian American to be sworn in as Vice President.
Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
With the support of Harris, Biden's most ambitious immigration proposal, just unveiled, is a bill that will give legal status and a path to citizenship to anyone in the United States before January the 1st, an estimated 11 million people, and reduce the time that family members must wait outside the United States for green cards. Several of the US's former presidents attended the inauguration, but none took office in their time against a backdrop of such division in the country. The first 100 days of any administration are always important to a new president. Biden has much to do, but in his debut address as Commander-in-Chief, he had a simple central message. Unity is the path forward, and we must meet this moment as the United States of America. Evelyn Laverick, Euronews.
Well, to discuss what else we might expect from Biden's Green Plan, we're joined now by Dr. Heather Alborough, lecturer in environmental politics at Nottingham Trent University. Thank you very much for joining us. We knew that Joe Biden was going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. He promised to do it in the election campaign. How significant is it that they've done that? And how far behind have the US fallen with their pledges and their promises that obviously weren't committed to in the same way when Donald Trump pulled out?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a historic moment for U.S. action on climate policy. As you rightly point out, under Trump's administration, there was a systematic rollback of environmental regulations, a gutting of the EPA, and as a result, the carbon tracker that measures different countries' progress on climate mitigation has rated the U.S. critically insufficient. So Biden has quite a lot of work to do, and he's already have hit the ground running. And really, it's going to be a very difficult task to undo all of this damage that the Trump administration has wrought on environmental indicators in the U.S. But he's already agreed to rejoin the Paris Agreement, as you noted, and his $2 trillion package on green recovery does bode well as well for the future.
Well, give us some examples of that, because lots of European countries, in planning their economic recovery out of the pandemic, green priorities have been really made clear. Is that the same in the US? What other policies does Joe Biden have?
Yes, so environmental justice is a very significant component of the Green Recovery Plan, which is something that's was not present really before in such sort of stark measures. $2 trillion being funneled towards the creation of millions of green jobs, particularly with reviving the public transport sector, moving the transport sector towards carbon neutrality or net neutrality, and retrofitting homes, for instance. However, as some activists and experts have pointed out, the plan doesn't go quite so far in terms of getting the U.S. back on track, in terms of mitigating, meeting Biden's goal of reducing the U.S.'s emissions to net neutrality by 2050. So others are urging that more plans like the Green New Deal proposed by Biden, Ocasio-Cortez, are much more ambitious and much more radical, and that's the sort of trajectory that he should be taking. But it is a great step.
Just on a personal level, do you believe what he says about climate? Do you think this is part of PR or real policy?
So he has repeatedly referred to the climate crisis as the existential crisis of our times, and it has been a strong component of his platform for a while. So I think he seems definitely genuine, and really, it's what's significant is such the radical departure that his platform and his presidency seems in comparison to Trump's, of course. So I do think that there's a lot of hope with Biden, with the Biden presidency. However, really, I think we'll have to see in terms of how radical his proposals are, if he sticks to them, and if he sort of carries on the sense of urgency that activists have been urging on for a while, and especially in the lead up to COP26 in November in Glasgow.